Tonight for race and muscles. I saw.
Yo, 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 people, what up? How are we? What's going on? What's happening in the hood? How are we? It's Friday. We are here. The brawn shall meet the brush. It certainly shall. It certainly shall. Or it's actually where the brawn meets the brush. Yeah. But there's no shall in there because it certainly will. The brawn will meet the brush. Boom. Boom. We are right here. How are you all? Welcome one. Welcome all. I hope you're well. Let's move this cable out of the way as we always do at the start of the show. I hope you're all well. What's been going on? It's Friday. It's the weekend, huh? Whew, we made it. Happy days. So, how are we? I hope you're all good. As usual, welcome to Minis-N-Muscles, the place where the brawn meets the brush. Every week we talk about geeky subjects whilst painting miniatures. Miniatures such as this little beauty. Look at that so far. This is our Triumph for St. Catherine model from Warhammer. So we paint Warhammer minis, we paint D&D minis. We've been painting this one a little while because it's taken so long to build because it's a hell of a piece. But we are on the sort of final route now. We've only got, if you look at our mini, we've only got the black sections to paint, as in these bits up here, these little cherubs. And then we're done. So that's well sweet. So I'm well excited to finish this off. It's been a heck of a masterpiece, but it looks spectacular. So thank you, Longinus. Yes. Another day that ends in Y. Certainly is another day that ends in Y. However, this day that ends in Y means it's the start of the weekend. And hopefully for some of you, that means you get to enjoy some geeky good stuff. But apart from that, what have you been up to this week? So obviously it's been a week since our last Minis-N-Muscles show. So what's been going on? What's been happening? Drop it in the chat. Tell me what you've been up to. It'd be lovely to hear about anything geeky you've done or just anything in general that you've done. I will share my recap of the past week and what's been going on. Woo! Well, this week, Dungeons & Dragons wise, there's no Dungeons & Dragons. We are moving on. Where our campaign finished. The Dungeon Master killed off the party the week before. So actually, we are moving on to the Fallout tabletop role-playing game. So we're going to be playing that soon. So we're just waiting for a start date from our DM. So that will be really good. I'm super excited to play the Fallout TTRPG. That kind of coincides with the Fallout TV show having its second series. So that's really cool. So I've just been creating my character, doing a bit of backstory for him, and sort of... I need to get my model as well. So I bought a 3D model for him. And I got my buddy who has a 3D printer to paint to print him. Then I need to get him this weekend and give him a little spruce up with some paint so he looks all cool. So that is that going on. What else? I'm trying to think. I did play some Warcraft, some World of Warcraft this week, so that was nice to get back into World of Warcraft. Just a couple of hours on that. So that was really cool just to sort of get back into it because I've not played it much since Christmas. So that was very, very nice. What else has been going on? I haven't played any other games. Been watching a lot of sort of Stranger Things, if that makes sense. So obviously the TV series finished the other week with the last episode being shown, and then there's been a sort of subsequent few things that have come out, like the how they made season 5, right? So that's now on Netflix. So I watched that. So that was super geeky, very cool. So if you haven't watched Stranger Things yet, we talked about it in the last episode, but very much worth taking a look at some geeky TV. And then Warhammer. Warhammer, well, what has been going on since I last saw you guys? Did I have a game? I can't remember if I played a game. I don't think I played a game because we're about to start a Warhammer campaign. So in Warhammer 40,000, you can play like just single battles a bit like a D&D one-shot where you just have a fight, or you can play a campaign, which is a little bit more narrative-based, where you have a story, someone sort of writes a story every week and sort of develops how the battles across the universe are going. And we're about to start, so I'm super excited for that. I just picked up today, because I am a super geek, I went to a t-shirt printers and had my army's t-shirt printed, like the logo printed. I made a logo with AI, but it's really, really good. So I made a logo for that, had it printed on the chest, and then had this sort of symbol for the campaign printed on my arm. So that was cool. So I've got that, and it starts tomorrow. So my first game is tomorrow at 9 a.m. So I'm super, super looking forward to that. That's going to be absolutely mega. So my Sisters of Battle are facing off against Death Guard. I've got a sneaky feeling Death Guard are going to absolutely cream me if they get anywhere near to me. However, it should be good. So that's been my week. Apart from that, painting. Yeah, I've done a lot of painting. So I painted some turrets for my castigator tanks, so they're all matching now. I'm sort of working my way through this little beauty at the moment. So I'm working my way through this immolator. So I'm doing that. And I also want to do some markers as well, some Sisters of Battle objective markers. I want to do those. I've stopped on my Black Templars just because I need to finish a couple of Sisters things off. But I kind of spread my painting out and I go from army to army just so I don't get too bored. Otherwise it can get boring. But what have you been doing? What have you guys been up to? It would be lovely to hear from you guys, to know what you've been doing over the past week, if anything at all. But aside from that, as usual, we've got 3 parts to the show. We have our general conversation. So a conversation that runs in the chat all the way through the stream. And this week, our general chat is going to be geeky movies. Last week, we had geeky TV. Now we're doing geeky movies. So anything geeky movies, we can chat about it in here. I've got a couple of kickoff things that we can chat about. But anything you want to talk about, geeky movies, stick it in the chat. So that's our general theme that will run throughout the show. Our second part to Minis and Muscles is our muscle moment. We wouldn't be the place where the brawn meets the brush if we didn't talk about fitness for 5 minutes. So this week we're talking about fashion versus fitness. So that we'll get into that in a little bit. But normally about 8 o'clock or so, halfway through the show, that happens. And then lastly, about 8:45, we do our hobby horror moment, where something in my hobbying life has gone wrong. So I normally just give you a little update of what has gone hideously wrong, either recently or in the past. And this week, we are going to be talking about paint, and more paint. So we'll delve deeper into that a little bit later. Longinus is working on some Chaos Knights. Oh, wicked. So you have to join the Discord channel, Longinus, and put some pictures into there. So if you haven't joined the Discord, you can join it. Look at the Minis and Muscles main YouTube page. If you do the old look in the info bit, there's a link tree there and you can go through and find the Discord. So jump in on the Discord, have a good time, chat with others. But yeah, I'd love to see those Chaos Knights. They're an absolute beast on the battlefield, especially those small war dogs as well. They're really good. If I was running Chaos Knights, I'd have probably one big knight, but then the rest all war dogs, and then maybe a couple of light infantry units. That's what I'd probably go. That's my experience of playing against them. I think the war dogs are really good. But anyway, hopefully you've got some water ready to paint your models. Look at that. I've even got a nice clean jar now. Hopefully you've got some water. Hopefully you've got your wet palette or equivalent at the ready and is suitably wet or damp. Obviously we don't want it too wet, but hopefully it's wet enough. We've got our lights ready to rock. And let's get cracking. So let's change over to our top-down view. Let's just move that back slightly. In fact, if I keep that there, and I'll just adjust the camera. There we go. So you can see our beautiful sister... Oh, what's happening there? Can everyone see that? Oh no, it's back. That was really weird. The camera just started flickering. I didn't even touch nothing. But you can see our beautiful sisters... Oh, it keeps on dropping out. What's happening there? Crikey, I don't know what's going on there. But you can see our beautiful St. Catherine's model here. Look at that. That's a stunning, like, model. I don't care. Oh, what is going on with the camera? Sorry, guys. I don't care what people say about Sisters of Battle as a whole as an army. However, this piece is possibly one of the coolest models in Warhammer 40,000. The Sisters of Battle have some really good stuff, the Adeptus Sororitas. So we need to paint these little devils, well, they're not devils, they're actually cherubs. We need to paint those today, so that is what we're going to be doing to finish off this model. Only a couple of colours really. They've got very pale skin, these cherubs. So white, pale skin on the cherub. Maybe a gold and a white for this Sororitas Fleur-de-Lis. Then we've got these scrolls. They'll be a sort of off-white colour. And that is about it. Maybe they've got some silver tubes and some mechanics on their heads, so we'll probably do that as well. But that is about it. Oh, what is going on? That camera is really doing my nutting. The camera's fine. It's something to do with the cable. Right, bear with me. Bear with me. We're just going to unplug it and we're going to try again. We're going to try again. Right, here we go. All right. Now, be good, camera. Stop messing about. Yeah, so there's our model. We need to crack on with this little beauty at the top, don't we? And it's all glued in place now, so you can't lose them all. Look, when they all fall off. And it's magnetised. Look, we've magnetised the bottom, so she's ready to rock. Oh, okay. So let's grab a paintbrush. Oh, someone's dropping. Ah, is that you, sir? Longinus dropping in the Chaos Knights. Dude, they look epic. Love that. I'm just replying to you now. Yeah, that's very cool, mate. They're really good. Really nice. I love the 3 different colours as well. One looks very Death Guard-y. One looks more Chaos Knight. And then the other one is just a general blue, which is quite cool as well. Oh, is that Be'lakor, is it? Or Demon Prince of some sort. He's pretty sweet. Yeah, he's really cool, man. Really like him. Super lovely. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Be'lakor. Yeah, he's nice, man. Very cool model. He's massive as well, isn't he? Especially with the wings. Yeah, he's very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. There you go, dude. Yeah, very, very cool indeed. Let's just nip back to this screen, otherwise I'll lose my notes and I won't know what I'm doing. So, what do we need? We need some white, don't we? Get these wings done. There we go. Cancel that down. So yeah, so how's your week been, guys? What's been going on? Drop it in the chat. I'd love to know. Tell me what you've been up to. Longinus is talking about his Chaos army that he's been painting. Some Knights and Be'lakor, which look really cool. And he's dropped those into the Discord. They look very smart indeed. Not that I'm a Chaos player. I can never play Chaos in my life. I'm the good guy. So I can't play Chaos. It'd just be against my own. It just go against the grain. Do you know what I mean? Can't be having that. But they do look very cool. I must admit. They are very smart indeed. Ooh, so where do we start on this? I probably should have painted these actually without gluing them into place. It would probably have been far easier if I'm honest. Again though, it's just something that I do. I rush ahead all the time and I'm just like, right, let's get it built, let's do it. So yeah, so apologies guys, because it's going to be a little bit of a difficult angle to see exactly what I'm painting. If I do it like that, that's a bit better, right? Because you've got so much different colour sectors here. It's hard to focus on the bit that I'm actually painting at the time. So we're just going to put a nice white base across these and then give them a sort of light blue hue of a tinge, because I like that kind of blue effect. Really subtle blue that is, that sort of goes across the wings and sits into the sort of crevices. I think it just looks really nice. So that is what we're going for here. And that is the look we will go for. So a nice light white to begin with. I've thinned it down in my wet palette, so we're good. So we don't want it too thick. We don't actually need it too thick. We just want it to spread nice and thin onto the black here. But yeah, general conversation for this week is geeky movies. So last week we spoke about geeky TV shows because of Stranger Things. So I thought I'd just sort of continue the conversation on watching stuff on telly. Which is that a bad thing? I don't know. I don't watch a huge amount anymore either, but I thought we'd do geeky movies. So what is your most favourite geeky movie of all time? That is what I'm going to ask you. Geeky movie of all time, your favourite. Drop it in the comments. What is it? I want to know. Whilst I just feel a little bit of the white in here. What I do have to be careful of is the white that I'm using is coming to the end of the pot, so it's quite difficult to mix up. And I don't want to have sort of multiple different shades of white, so it might be a little bit difficult. There we go, that looks alright. Ah, there we are. We've got to do the other side as well. Now they do have these sort of like top parts of the wings, and I'm not sure if they... Let me refer and consult the manual. What does it say? Okay. Oh no, so look, if I bring this in, you can see the tops of the wings are actually white on them. So I will do that as well. I thought that this sort of top section to the wing here, I don't know if you can see it, I thought that that might be like a metal or something. But it's not, it's just a white, so we'll continue with the white. You can see actually where I've just gone a little bit too thin with that, with the colour, with the paint. You'll know when you go too thin because as you paint it onto the model, it will kind of separate, and you won't be able to. It will sort of separate out, and you'll see the undercoat underneath. So if you look at, you can't quite see it actually, a little bit far, but on this wing here, where I just mixed it a little bit too thin, you could see the black rearing straight through. But yeah, geeky movies, Blade Runner. God, man, classic. Did I put that in my list, actually? I think I might have put that in my list, Blade Runner. Blade Runner, Blade Runner, Blade Runner. Oh, no, I didn't put it in my list. I didn't put that in my... Oh, I did put it in my list. Yeah, I did put that in my list. Yeah, so good shout, Longinus. Blade Runner is a great film. So the 80s was a wicked time. 80s and 90s, I think, was a wicked time for sort of geeky, sci-fi kind of films. If you liked that kind of fantasy world setting, and when I say fantasy world here, I don't mean necessarily your Tolkien-esque fantasy. I mean just a make-believe fantasy world. The 80s and 90s had some banging movies, and I think they're probably, you know, only rivaled by things like what I would say is Stranger Things actually now, and maybe one or two of the others like your Harry Potters and your Lord of the Rings. There's not many. There's some great 80s, 90s movies that just sit in that category. Blade Runner is one of them. What is the... so you're saying Blade Runner or any of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Although The Hobbit itself, I wasn't sure whether I liked The Hobbit. I'm not so sure. I liked the original Lord of the Rings movies, but The Hobbit movie, I wasn't so keen on that. I mean, what do you think? Did you think it was an alright one, The Hobbit? I mean, what does the rest of chat think, by the way? If the rest of chat thought that Hobbit was a good one, I will go back on my words and I will accept your critiquing. But I didn't think Hobbit was all that good. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but it didn't seem to sit as well as the others, and I don't know whether it was because it had been a time since I'd watched Lord of the Rings and then gone back and then watched The Hobbit, or that The Hobbit was just too long. I'm not sure. But it just didn't seem to sit right when I was watching it. Apologies for the dodgy angle here where I'm painting. It's just that I'm trying to get into these wings through the rest of the model Again, note to self, paint the pieces before you assemble. And that doesn't mean absolutely everything, but it does help, guys. I screw myself over pretty much every week when I do this. Where you end up painting something at a really difficult angle and you could have made it so much more easier on yourself. So, be aware. What are we saying in chat? The Hobbit is its own thing. Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't think it was all that. I don't know. Maybe I was Lord of the Ringed out and I sort of had enough of it. But if I go back now and watch the Lord of the Rings, I think they're epic. I don't know if I can do the whole director's cut though. You know, the long one that was like, or the long ones that are like 5 hours each. They did that in the movies, didn't they? They did that in the cinema, where you could go and watch all of the Lord of the Rings movies back to back. Did anyone go do that, by the way? Oh man, I don't know if I could have done that. Actually, I probably could have. I probably could have, because they put it all on for you, and they have breaks as well. And you'd have had to have a comfy seat though in the cinema. Some of the cinemas I've been to are not very comfy. But yeah, very cool. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. What I love, I don't know why, but in that Tolkien kind of fantasy world setting, I love dwarves. I don't know why I love them so much, but I just think they're epic. Whenever I play D&D, I love a dwarf character. Whenever I sort of play World of Warcraft, I do have my 2 characters, a night elf and a dwarf. So I love a dwarf. Absolutely love a dwarf. They're so cool. What is everyone's talking to Lord of the Rings? What is your favourite Lord of the Rings character or race within Lord of the Rings itself? So obviously you've got a variety of different races to choose from: elf, human, hobbit, dwarf, and others. Has anyone got a favourite race or a favourite character that they absolutely love from Lord of the Rings? I just love the sort of brashness of a dwarf. And, you know, they say what they want. They don't really give a damn about anything else. They just say it how it is. They love a good beer. And I don't even drink beer, by the way. So that's, you know, really odd, right? So just getting a nice thin coat of white across these. So they're all ready. I can see myself running out of white though. Didn't realise how empty my pot was. Yeah, so I love Lord of the Rings. That's another classic. That's definitely on my list of probably top 10 movies. If we sort of think of other geeky movies, what about the Back to the Future series? What do people think about the Back to the Future series? Is that in a top 10 geek movie culture? Me personally, I love the Back to the Future movies. I think they're absolutely quality. From cast selection to sort of scripts and how things turn out. The action sequences are brilliant. The only thing, and I don't quite get why it didn't work, was the Back to the Future 3, where they went to the Wild West, and it didn't work. Number 1 and 2 was so good. And then they went to this Wild West theme, and for some reason the movie just, it kind of sucked. And you know, I still love the actors in the movie, but the movie itself just wasn't all that, and it just really let the franchise down. I was gutted when I saw the number 3 movie for Back to the Future. Is anyone on the same books as me? Did the number 3, Back to the Future number 3, kind of let it down? The franchise down, that is. I think always, like, my favourite scene as a kid was for Back to the Future was where in number 2 where Marty's in the town square and he goes and he nicks the hoverboard off of the kid, and he goes across the lake. Oh man, brilliant, absolute brilliant. That was classic. Yeah, that was a really good part of the movie. I always wanted a hoverboard. I've been waiting since the 80s for hoverboards, and they've still not arrived yet. So I'm hoping someone like Elon Musk can make hoverboards, as in real hoverboards, not the ones with wheels that people use. An actual hoverboard. That would be cool. If someone can make one of those, please, Elon. If you're listening. Could you imagine, right, if Elon Musk was listening to this? If he was sat at home watching this, watching me paint models. A billionaire watching me paint models, talking about geek crap. Calling him out for not making a hoverboard. That'd be so funny. Yeah, gosh, that would be super crazy funny. Maybe one day, right, I'll be painting away in a... Actually, would a celebrity say if they were watching? Probably not, right? If they were super famous, you probably would never find out. It would only be like, I don't know, they would send a email to me or something, or I'd see them in public by accident, and then they'd be like, oh, you're that guy that does that crazy Minis-N-Muscles program on YouTube, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's me. You're that cool billionaire that makes loads of crazy stuff, goes to space and shit. Yeah. Or I'd be like meeting an actor and I'd just be in awe of them. Yeah, that would be weird. But stranger things have happened, right? Because that kind of thing does, you know, people do become super famous through YouTube. I mean, look at people like Mr. Beast and stuff. They do really well. Or he's done really well. Possibly one of the most famous people on earth, right? Everybody knows that guy. Maybe he watches. I reckon Mr. Beast would quietly paint miniatures in his downtime to relax. What do we reckon? Should have called it Back to the Past as Longinus. Yeah, you should have. Well, not you, but yes, they should have. As in the directors and the creators of the movie. Yeah, they should have called it Back to the Past, yeah. Wasn't it Back to the Future? Didn't it have like some Back to the Past kind of reference in it? Or am I imagining it? I can't remember whether it did or not. I've got a feeling it had some kind of going back to the past kind of reference in the title. Like Back to the Future Part 3 something something something. No? I can't remember if I'm talking a load of crap or I'm actually telling the truth. Memory does that to me. Lets me down. Let's get some lovely white on these wings. These are going to look super cool. What I'd really like is to sort of go a bit like... Oh, you can't really see it. See that? That kind of blue hue across the top? That's what I'm going for with them, because it just looks really cool on the... When you put the model down, it just... Rather than having this sort of big blob of white on the wings, you just get a nice kind of blue hue. And it looks very, very cool. So that is what we'll be going for these little beauties. Right, so there's 3 done. We've got these 2 to do now. Forget how many there are. The first one goes back to the 1960s. Second one is actually the future. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I guess, though, the reference is he gets stuck in the past and he goes back to the future, as in the future of the past, right? So I guess that's why they use it in the first one. But yeah, it's only the second one that they go into the future itself. I just wondered whether that third movie had another title to it. I can't remember. But time travel kicks ass. And I saw the Back to the Future play. I'm not sure if it's available outside of the UK. I'm sure it probably is. But here in the UK, in London, we have the West End theatres, and Back to the Future is a West End theatre play, and it is absolutely amazing. It is a brilliant show. I couldn't believe how good that was. That and Stranger Things theatre shows. If you ever get a chance, guys, if you like that kind of thing, go to them. You must go see them. They are phenomenal. They're really good watches. They're fairly expensive to go see, right, a theatre show, but absolutely worth it 100 times over. I've actually seen the Stranger Things one twice. I would have seen the Back to the Future one twice, but my train got stopped when I was travelling into London, and it got stopped because of an accident, and it never went again, and all the trains just had stopped, so I missed the show. So I would have seen that twice as well. Very good. But the movies are epic. My favourite being number 2 of Back to the Future. I like the going into the future part. I thought that was pretty cool. The character Doc Brown, absolute legend. Very funny. Marty McFly's cool as well. Evening, Adrian. How are you doing, sir? How's things? Are you keeping all right? Hopefully you're okay. Are you ready for contingency? So, for those who don't know what contingency is a tabletop, mainly tabletop role-playing games, but also some board games and other tabletop games, played for a week non-stop in Norfolk, in Hunt Stanton. So I'm going up there with Tactical Advanced Game, which is the charity for British military serving or former serving personnel, where you can play TTRPGs in a therapeutic manner. And me and Adrian are going up there at the end of the month, and that'll be really cool. To Contingency, you don't have to go as part of the charity, by the way. Contingency is open to absolutely everyone and anyone, so you can just go. You can just go to the Contingency itself. Tickets aren't that expensive. You can stay on site. They've got accommodation on site. It's really good fun. Lovely people there. Loads of games. Though there is not one game, I don't think, that I have not seen being played there. They play absolutely everything. You name it. If it's a TTRPG, it's being played there, and it's constant. It's like all day, every day. Oh, bless me. Mr. Flames is saying, would you ever build and paint a Gun PLR? So, where is it? I've got a Gundam. I don't know where it is. I bought it. So I bought the Gundam, Mr. Flame, to paint on this channel. So absolutely yes. It's actually something I'm planning to paint next. So after I finish this model, because we've done sort of a couple of Warhammer models, a couple of D&D models recently. So I want to do something different. So I'm going to do the Gundam model next. I'll probably use my airbrush for it as well. So that'll be interesting, because I'm not really an airbrush kind of guy. But I will use the airbrush on that, because there's loads of big flat panels to paint on that boy. So yes, is that what you paint, Mr. Flame? Is that what you do? Drop it in the chat, let me know. Adrian's saying he's been waiting for the notification on YouTube. Did you not get a notification? Oh, sorry, dude. That was not intentional. You should have got a notification. Have you got your bell turned on? Obviously, Adrian, you're subscribed, and I hope everyone else is here that's watching. We're trying to build this channel into something cool. So, you know, all we do is talk geek. All we do is paint models. So if you love talking geek, if you love painting models, this is the place for you. Safe space, safe environment, lovely place to chat, to meet new people, to talk a load of crap with me and with others in the Discord or in the chat on the lives. And it's just a chill environment. So share it with your mates, share it with your muckers, get your nan online, We can talk to your nan. It's not a problem, or your grandma, whatever you want to call her. And we'll have a good old geeky time. Oh, where this... See, this is where, again, you should have painted it before you assembled it, right? Because you're trying to paint on these sections, and they're at very awkward angles. They're not ideal. Not ideal, Steve. So yeah, we were talking about geeky movies is our general chat of the day. So if you've got any geeky movies that you want to talk about, drop it in the chat. I'm happy to talk about them. I asked earlier what your favourite geeky movie was. Longinus come back with a couple of different answers, from Blade Runner to Lord of the Rings. Blade Runner is epic. I wouldn't say it's my favourite though. Lord of the Rings is up there. Whew, what is my favourite? Now, can I put... Here's one for you. Into the chat. Let me know if I can have this one in the geeky movie list. Can I put... oh, crikey, what's it called? Jurassic Park. Can I put Jurassic Park into the geeky movies list? Yes or no? Mr. Flame is saying, yeah, that's my hobby of choice. I've seen several mini painters transition to gun. Ah, yeah. To be fair, mate, I will do one next. So if you hang around, not on this show, but probably next week actually, we'll do a Gundam. So I'll get him out. I can't remember which one it is, but I have him ready and ready to go. He's ready to rock. He's in his box. Poor little Gundam guy. I say little, but they're absolutely massive in comparison to Warhammer and D&D. Gundam is big. So yeah, we will have those. So yes, yes, and yes. Seen the He-Man trailer. Blade Runner isn't geeky. You don't think Blade Runner's geeky? I think Blade Runner sits in the geeky world. It's that sci-fi, because it's sci-fi, right? Sci-fi sits in a kind of geeky manner, I think. Would you not say? But welcome, Optimus. Theatre ticket prices are madness. I saw Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen for £60. Stranger Things is about 150 a ticket. No! Stranger Things is not 150. You think I can pay £150 a ticket? I've got 127 subscribers. I can't pay 150 quid a ticket. That's madness. No way, dude. So it's about 60 quid a ticket. I'll give you that. It's about 150 if you want like the premiere ticket, you know, the sort of real good one. So yeah, it can be expensive going to the theatre, absolutely. But then it's not as much as 150 quid a ticket. Definitely not. There is an app, if you're in the UK, there is an app that you can use, and it's called Ticks of the Day. And it's Tix, T-I-X. And if you go in there, you can get like last minute deals on tickets to go see theatre shows. And you get them super cheap. Okay, so I've been on a few, and some of them you don't get the best seats, but when you're paying like £20 for a ticket, you don't mind. So worth having a look at. Ticks of the Day. It's an app you can download for those in the UK that want to go to London to watch a theatre show. Well worth it. Well, I was thinking as well, Mr. Flames, another thing about Gundam is that they're cheaper, and I've also looked at the quality, and the quality is pretty damn good on the models itself, on the actual print. So I was really impressed with what you got in the box that I've got. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a bash. Don't worry about this sloppy first paint job that's going on here. We will cover this appropriately. It's just the first layer. This sort of what's it called? Wraith bone always goes on a bit thin, so you need a couple of layers to get that right colour mix, but we'll get it, don't you worry. We just have to go over it a couple of times, that's all. It's better to go over a couple of times with a thin paint layer than it is to sort of try and shortcut it and do one paint layer and just slop it on, because that one paint layer will be so thick you'll lose all the detail of the model and it will just look crap. Okay, right now this thin layer that I'm painting on, you can see sort of a little bit of the black through it, and you can see the sort of streaky lines to begin. But once you start layering it up, it all disappears and you lose all of that and it looks so smooth. So really, when you're painting, wet palette is the way forward. Unless you're using an airbrush, which gives you a very consistent coat if you're careful with your airbrush. But yeah, just be prepared to do a couple of layers rather than thinking you're just going to get away with doing one. So other geeky movies, peeps, drop it in the chat. Geeky movies. What are we thinking? Do I get to have Jurassic Park on the geeky movie list? Is that a geeky movie? Come on. Because I would probably put that on my geeky movie list. If it's acceptable to the public. I haven't seen the trailer of He-Man, by the way, Optimus, unfortunately. I have seen pictures of the trailer, but I haven't seen the trailer. I actually really liked the original He-Man movie that came out, the 80s one. People will call it crap, but I actually quite liked it. Maybe that's just because, you know, as a kid I had the He-Man toys, so, you know, I have a sort of affinity to it and a love for that character and that world. But I actually quite liked it. I thought it was all right. Little Gwildor. It's a character that's in the old He-Man movie, that is. I wonder if they'll put him back in the new one. I wonder if he'll be in the new one. Maybe. Gwildor. He plays basically a keyboard that acts like a dimension gateway key. Brilliant. What a movie. Longinus saying 2001 Space Odyssey. I didn't really like that. Sorry guys. I'm not saying it's not a geeky movie that we can't put in the list, but for me, no, not my fave. Not my fave. It wouldn't go in my list, Longinus, unfortunately. We've got a connection there on the other movies, the Blade Runner and the Lord of the Rings, but Space Odyssey just didn't hit the spot for me. You know, it's like when you go to eat at McDonald's and, you know, you eat it and then you just feel hungry straight after. Doesn't hit the spot. Gonna need some more paint in the wet palette. What we're saying in chat, I saw the Bone Temple and preferred it to the previous film. The Iron Maiden piece was ace. Oh, Bone Temple. Bone Temple. Is that a new movie, Adrian? You need to inform me of this, sir. I'm not sure of what Bone Temple is. So please inform me, update me. Dolph Lundgren and Skeletor at the end. Yeah, classic. Absolute classic, man. I thought Dolph Lundgren was all right in that. I fancied the pants off of what's her face in it? Oh God, the name of the female that is the companion of He-Man. Can't remember. It's not She-Ra. Oh God, what is her name? Can't remember. But dark brown hair. I fancied the pants off her as a kid. Absolutely, she was a hottie back in the day. Yeah, I can't remember who. I wonder who played her, actually. I can't remember. I don't remember who the actress was. But it probably, because it tanked so bad, the film, she probably never got another job again. Bless her. But she was hot in that movie, so it's all that counts. She got my vote. Oh dear. Still had the best entrance ever by Skeletor. Yeah, that massive like parade where he comes down the high street, right? And he's got all the guards that he's got and the different types of aliens that are with him. Oh man, that was brilliant. I used to brick it as a kid as well when you saw Skeletor's face for the first time. Man, what an ugly mofo. Yeah, that was a great entrance. You're absolutely right, Longinus. Yeah, great entrance. And what I like about that movie, like a lot of movies in the 80s and 90s, right? They use real sets. They don't use CGI. CGI sucks balls. Right, film directors, if you're watching this, obviously you're not going to take note of me and my 127 subscribers, but CGI is rubbish. It's good for very small things. Proper sets. Getting people to actually design real sets and the actors walk around them is where it's at. That is mega. I love it when that's a bit like why I like Stranger Things. They actually built proper sets. They did use CGI as well, but they built proper sets. So that I can appreciate that. Star Wars, another one, right? The sets on that were insane. The original Star Wars I'm talking about, not all this new CGI cack, but the original Star Wars, mega. Yeah, I'm a big fan of set appreciation. So if there's any set designers out there watching, I see you, set designers. I raise my hat to you in a gentlemanly fashion. What else is he saying? Still has the best intro. Adrian said Hawk the Slayer. No, was that her name? Teela. That was her name. Yes, Teela. Oh man, yeah, Teela. Oh, Teela, where are you now? God. Hey, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? She's watching Minis-N-Muscles. She comes on next week as a guest. Yeah. Bet she still looks smoking hot now, even though it's 30 years. Well, more than that, 40 years later. Yeah, Teela. And then you had the Master at Arms as well. Yeah, classic. Great movie. Great movie. What else is saying in the chat? Adrian's saying 28 years later, the Bone Temple. Oh, is that after 28 days later? If it is, I've got an interesting fact about 28 days later. Right, if you watch 28 Days Later, the original movie, in that, when they're in the big manor house thing, they explore a courtyard. And in the courtyard, there's a chained up zombie. Right, it's a big black hench dude. He's like muscly as heck. Now, he used to be a bouncer at the nightclub I used to go to when I was younger. Yeah, so we always used to give him like mad props when we used to see him. Yeah, classic. Oh, I've missed some of the wing there. But yes, that if it's 28 days later, I haven't seen the new version that you're talking about, 28 years. I'm not sure. I kind of got a little bit lost because they did like 28 days, 28 weeks, and they started like making lots of different ones all to do with it. So I don't know if it's the same thing or not, Adrian. But is it worth a watch? That's the question. And is it a good geeky movie? Hey, you guys still haven't told me whether or not Jurassic Park can be on the geek movie list. Can I have Jurassic Park on a geek movie list? If so, I'm going to talk about it in a second. I love those movies. The OG, really, though, more than anything. Alrighty. So we've got the base colours on those. Just need to correct some of the white on one of those wings of the cherubs. Just because we missed a bit. Right in there. Yeah, it's a bit difficult angle to get to once this is all assembled. Didn't really think this through. But it's okay. We can deal with it. Oh, by the way, did anyone see the new sort of holding screen that happens before the stream? So before my stream, the Minis-N-Muscles stream starts, I created a new sort of holding screen just to say the stream is starting soon. I just wondered whether anyone had seen it yet or not, and whether they think it's a load of old cack or they think it's all right. I'm just trying to get a bit of feedback on it. There we go. Oh, throwing a bit of white on the cherub's face. That's all right. Let's have a look. Let's catch up on our chat. It's super busy tonight. This is awesome. I love it when the chat goes crazy. So, Adrian's saying Flash Gordon, Highlander. Oh, They Live. Is that a movie, is it? Ooh, I've watched them all. You can have Park, but not 3, as that was pants. Yeah, true. Jurassic Park 3 sucked. Awful movie. Absolutely awful. Yeah, I agree with you, Adrian. I was only talking about the OG, the original. That was ace. 2 weren't too bad, but the original is where it's at. I don't think even the modern ones beat the original. And again, I think there's a great example of set versus CGI. The modern Jurassic Parks have a lot more CGI in it. The originals did as well, granted. However, the originals had a lot more set. And the sets just look more... It looks far more real. You can't beat it. You really can't. Alright. It's looking quite good so far, this. Let's get some gold out. The old sisters love a bit of gold on their iconography. So we're going to do this this fleur-de-lis in gold. I would say white, but it's too close to the wings of the cherubs to be white. It'll just look like it will be too much white in one place. So we're going to go for gold on the fleur-de-lis. And then I'll use a slightly off gold round the edge is my plan. So what else are we saying? JP used animatronics too. Yes, they did. And I think the animatronics were really good. I mean, it's not like a sort of Dark Crystal animatronics and puppets. You know, it was pretty good. I thought it was good and well worth the effort. It makes it feel more realistic. It makes the actors feel like they're in it rather than around it, if that makes sense. I love a bit of effort that goes into a movie. There we go. What about for geeky movies? Alien. Can we put Aliens in the geeky movie category? I think Aliens is a geeky movie category, right? It is sci-fi, but I feel that it kind of fits in with geek as well. What do we reckon? Do we allow Aliens to go into the geek closet, or is Aliens not geek movie? What do we think, peeps? Chuck it in the chat, would you? Let me know. I need to know. Alright, there you go. You can see the gold there. We're going to do a slightly off gold though for the outside of that ring that the cherub is holding onto. Just to give it a bit of difference. Oh, sorry, blocking the camera. Yeah, so Aliens, I thought, you know, sci-fi horror, perfect tension throughout those movies. Sigourney Weaver was kick-ass. Not so much of a fan of the modern ones. And I haven't seen all the modern ones, actually, because there's been a couple. But the originals, the 80s, 90s ones, good. I liked those. I'm not sure whether they are valid for leaving in the geek category for movies, though. I mean, if I go to something like Comic-Con, there's always someone dressed as an alien from Alien, the movie, or someone's dressed as Ripley, right? So that's why I'm kind of classing Aliens, the movie, as an option for our geek catalogue of movies. But I just thought I'd run it by you guys to ask you what you think, whether or not we can put it in. Adrian saying an Aliens director's cut when they got rid of the Terminator tie-in. Yeah, Terminator tie-in. Have I forgotten something there, Adrian? Quite possibly, because I forget things every week. What, there was a director's cut with the Terminator, as in Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was there? Why do I not remember that? Crikey, I need to go rewatch it. I'm really struggling to remember that. I mean, it's not a surprise that I'm struggling to remember. I struggle to remember lots of things. I forget things on a moment basis, not just a daily basis, a moment basis. That's the unfortunate thing with my wonderful memory, is that it disappears. Predator. Yeah, Predator. Classic. Is that geek? Do we class that as geek movie again, though? Because some of these are like really close, aren't they, to sort of just straight up action. Predator, Alien, straight up action, aren't they, really? But they kind of, because of the sci-fi element, they kind of fall into, I think anyway, into the geek culture. Because you get that sort of, you know, people wanting to dress up as the Predator, wanting to dress up as Alien, you know, wanting to dress up as Arnie or whatever. So I think because of the Alien part to it, it kind of falls in. But keen to understand what you guys think on that, whether that is your perception or not. Sorry for all the moving around of this model. It's a big old beastie with lots of lovely girls on it. But it just means I have to move the model all the time just to get that right. So I'm not sure if you can see. We've just done the fleur-de-lis in a sort of bright gold, and you've got a kind of brass around the edge, that ring that the cherub's holding. So that's quite nice. A movie being sci-fi doesn't, in my book, make it automatically geek. No, I don't think automatically makes it geek. There's got to be certain things in it, like, I don't know, sci-fi, but it's a nerdy character that plays computer games or something. Like, oh gosh, what's that old 80s movie where he does that? He does exactly that. And he plays computer games. He's like, I think he's like an autistic kid, and he plays computer games. And there's a scene where, like, the other kick-ass game player comes in, and he's got the Nintendo Power Glove, and he's playing the Nintendo from the Power Glove on his arm. I can't remember what it's called, but that's an epic film. And that's like, you know, doesn't automatically make it geek, but then because he's playing a computer game, it makes it geek. A bit like maybe like Player One. That's sci-fi, but again, all related around computer games. Ready Player One, that's it. Does that kind of enter into the geek world because of that? I don't know. Agent said in Aliens, Bishop mentions old androids as being made by Cyberdyne. Oh, in the director's cut, it was changed to Hyperdyne. Oh, I didn't realise that. I'd never picked up on that, you know, dude. That's a great shout. I'd never picked up on that. Well done, Adrian. Point to you, sir, for picking up on that. I did not know. There's so many things that people pick up on, though, isn't there, on these movies and stuff. I know I keep going back to Stranger Things just because it's on my mind, because it's the sort of most recent thing I've seen. But there's so many things where people are going back now, even on the latest series, picking up what the directors did or didn't do, or things that have been missed, or, you know, so that in itself is quite cool. Right, we've got a lot of all these sort of cables flowing from the back of these little chedups. So we're probably going to have to do something with them. Going to have to be a silver of some sort, I think. So we might need to get a new colour in. Let's take the Wraith bone and put it to the side. Oh, actually, we should pause for our muscle moment, shouldn't we? Had lots of chat so far. If I just change this back to here so you can see me, but then you can see how we're getting on there. There you go. So it's looking not too bad, right? Sorry for my vibrating noise. Just trying to shake the paint up. So this is what we're looking at so far. It's a pretty sick model. There you go. And we're just painting the top cherubs now. So really finishing off the last little bit. However, it's time for our muscle moment. We wouldn't be Minis and Muscles if we didn't do Where the Brawn Meets the Brush. If we didn't talk about fitness for 5 minutes. Every week, about the halfway point through the show, I talk about fitness for 5 minutes. It's very, very quick. So stay with me. So we talk about fitness. I give you 5 key points. And this week, we're going to talk about fashion versus fitness, right? It's a real bugbear of mine because quite often fashionable things come in through, like, I don't know, trends like, not that I have social media like TikTok, but TikTok trends and all that sort of stuff comes through, and people start to introduce that into gym life, thinking that that's going to, you know, make them buff or make them fitter or make them cooler. Whether that is, you know, whatever people do, and it annoys the crap out of me. So I kind of wanted to labour on 5 quick points about why to sort of stay away from that. Look, fitness trends, point 1, fitness trends come and go, all right? However, core fitness, the reality of fitness, the core fitness rules have stayed forever. You pick up an old, sweaty old book from the 60s, will still do you justice today. I guarantee if you took one of these TikTok things and in 50 years you tried to do it, it still wouldn't work. Don't work now, still doesn't, and wouldn't work in 60 years' time. So just be aware that trends and fads are just that, and treat them as such. Don't sort of treat them as the gospel to what you should be doing for fitness. Always seek proper guidance. Point 2, the basics still win. All right. So this is kind of related to point 1. You don't have to do something that's modern and concocted from someone's stupidity, right? Basic squat, a basic press up, a basic sit up, all these core principles of fitness will still get you gains. You don't have to do the nano jackknife squat block or whatever they call it. I don't know, I made that up, right? But you don't have to do that to excel. Stick to the basics. There's also the sort of side of training for looks versus training performance, and that's kind of this fashion versus reality thing. A lot of people now, or quite a few people, train for looks and looks alone, which is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not going to help either A, people trying to achieve that look, or B, people that need to, you know, do it for a health reason and lose weight. You need to, again, go back to basics. Point 4, marketing versus science. So be aware of supplements. Supplements are good. They do help you, or some of them do. Some of them are absolute gumph and crap. All right. So there's only a few things really that you need to help sustain your performance and keep you going. Don't be sort of swayed by flashy marketing adverts on social media telling you that you need XYZ to get big or to get ripped or to do this or to do that. Stick to the basics, your protein, maybe your creatine, and kind of limit it at that. Just a healthy diet overall will be far better than supplements. And point 5, again with this sort of fashion versus reality kind of thing, that includes long-term versus short-term. Short-term being these fads, right? Get fit in 30 days. You know, there's one thing I keep seeing on YouTube is Tai Chi walking or some crap, right? And these AI adverts about Tai Chi walking and how you can get super fit and ripped in 30 days. Load of old crap. Actually, what is going to get you fit is consistency and commitment. So consistency over a long period of time and committed to doing the exercises that you need to do. So stick and focus at that. Don't worry about short-term gains. Go for the long path. It's a more difficult journey, yes. Will it be more frustrating? Yes. But you will reap the reward later down the road. So that is my 5 points for you on this week's muscle moment. The place where the brawn meets the brush. That's our fitness done. So back to our mini. Righty, so we're going to do some silver. So we've got some silver sections to paint on this beastie. So let's drop some silver into my wet palette. And we're back talking about films, geeky films. How about, right? Oh, what was it? Where was it? How about Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters has got to be in the geeky film section, right? Got to be, surely. And I'm talking about the original Ghostbusters movies, not the latest ones. Or you could include those as well, but I'm talking about the OGs. Surely the OG Ghostbuster movies are in the Geek Squad sector. They've got loads of comedy. There's, you know, a fair amount of action in them as well. But it is super geeky, right? I think there's a massive cult following behind Ghostbusters. You know, it's got several different Lego sets and collectibles behind it, which a lot of people partake in. If my cousin Pell was watching right now, he'd be talking about the Lego Ghostbusters kit. If anyone's got one, he's dying to buy one. So let me know. But yes, I think Ghostbusters has got to be up there, right, with a good geeky movie. I really liked Ghostbusters. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 that had the guy that come out the portrait. Was it 1 or number 2? And what was his name? Rigo? I can't remember. But he was super scary, I thought, back in the day. Super scary. But cool movies nevertheless. And in my view, definitely in the geek category. This poor little cherub's got a robotic arm. Adrian, he could be part of your iron hands. So he can be in with your weird augmented Space Marines. Maybe your Iron Hands wouldn't have him. You could then include the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is geeky. I think so. That was a pretty cool movie. I quite liked that. Weird Science, good geeky movie. Don't know if people remember Weird Science. You probably will, Adrian. You'll be of the age bracket. You know, if you're 40 or over, like Adrian and I, then you'll certainly remember Weird Science. Inner Space is geeky and funny too. Yeah, Inner Space. Yeah, I would go with that. Inner Space. What about RoboCop? Does RoboCop sit in the geeky genre? I wonder. I think it's pretty geeky. Sorry, I'm just looking for sections of this model that these little guys that have got silver on their faces or across their bodies. Because they've all got like different sort of helmets on them as well, which is quite cool. So this guy's got like a full-on robot helmet. There you go. He's pretty cool. Yeah, RoboCop I think is quite geeky. Or is it? Or is it just more actiony than geeky? Don't know. Need your help on that one, guys. Tell me, RoboCop, is that geeky or just plain old action? Magnavolt car security, yeah. Hey, I saw the RoboCop cars up at the motor museum. Was it Bewley? It was one of the motor museums anyway, in the UK, and they had a RoboCop car there. That was pretty cool. Saw that years ago as well. God, this poor guy's got two robot arms. Didn't notice the second one. We can definitely put him into your Iron Hands army now, Adrian. He's got two. He's got a like a reed breather type mask on, and he's got two robotic arms. So come on. We can put this little guy in some Space Marine armour, surely. Surely your tech priests of Mars can sort this little guy out. Oh, yeah. What else then? What about the Mad Max stories? Are they geeky? Yeah, I think so. I think Mad Max is pretty geeky. Again, I don't know actually, because it is a real fine line, right, between geek and just pure action. Mad Max is pretty action heavy. But again, I see people the Comic Con and stuff. And this is what I'm kind of going off, really. What other people's reactions are and how they do stuff. And I've seen loads of people at Comic Cons, like in Mad Max kind of vibes. So I'm guessing it is. Well, one that's definitely is geeky is Harry Potter, right? What about Harry Potter? Who's down for a bit of HP? Who's down for the pothead? Right, I never really got into Harry Potter till a few years ago. And actually, not that I'm into it as in had to watch it every day or anything, but watched them all and actually really liked them. Thought they were pretty good movies. So Harry Potter's definitely in it. It's got that fantasy, it's got magic, it's got mystical creatures. It's got the lot. So if you're looking for something, Harry Potter series, well worth it. Even as an adult, you know, give it a bash. You know, you should definitely give it a watch. It's well worth it. Getting in, doing these little spines down their backs. And this guy's got like a kind of robot type tail and like an incense holder sort of hanging off the back of him. So it's got to be metal, right? I'm just putting a sort of, not dry brush, it's not a dry brush, but it's sort of an equivalent really, where you're running the brush gently over the surface area so that it purposely avoids any gaps, so you get that sort of 3D-ish kind of look. There we go. Sometimes it's just nice to leave little bits of dark or shadow areas on a model, because it just looks cool. These guys have got lots of pipes and stuff coming from them as well. These little babies. These little cherub babies. He's got a little magnetic arm. Or robotic arm, rather. There we go, his little robot arms in. Anyone else got a robot arm? No, these are all actual baby arms. It's a bit weird, isn't it, cherubs in the Warhammer 40,000 world? They're a bit of an oddity. Still very cool, but they are odd. What about the Marvel movies? Come on. Marvel's gotta be up there. That has to be in the geek. Superheroes, isn't it? Superheroes, comics. That has to be geeky. Has to be. I've got this colour out for the skin on the cherubs, but I'm not sure if I like that. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see what it looks like. I'm actually using a really big brush right now, and I probably shouldn't be. This is way too big for this little geezer. But I'm slowly getting away with it. It is working, just. It's where I don't really want to put on my geek glasses and get a tiny brush out. Again, it's that sign of laziness of wanting to get the model done and painted and move on to the next thing, right? And I think that's one of my biggest issues in painting. I suppose everyone probably gets it, right? Everyone gets to that point where, you know, they just want to move on to the next thing and they just want to paint the next thing and get it done. But so I feel their pain, but I'm probably not doing the right thing by using this big brush to try and get the paint on quicker. So don't do me. Don't copy me on this, because this is not wise. Well, I guess it is if you want to paint faster, but painting shouldn't really be about fast or speed or anything, though. It should just be about enjoying it and chilling and, you know, doing it for the love. There's a lot of love that goes into making models, right? And painting models. It takes time, it takes energy. This is going to be a bit messy here because I have to paint over these wires, because I'm never going to be able to paint in between and not get the wires covered because there's some sort of body underneath. So get the base colour in there and then go across the top with any of the sort of colours for the wires or whatnot. Get that in over the top. So again, not a problem to go over once you've been over once with your main colour, in this case the skin colour. Oh, pardon me. I rushed my dinner before I come out here, so a bit burpy. like another bloody piece of parchment between his blooming legs. Dang it. I thought that was his leg, but it's not. I don't know if you can see just there, just next to his leg. It's got like an extra bit. It's not his leg. And it's not what you think it is either. Perverts. It is a bit of parchment, so that's going to need a slightly different colour. See, now that parchment's right behind the thingy there, so how am I going to get round to that? A little bit more difficult. Getting in there. Got it just at the right angle. Oh, it's pretty tight, that, just to get the paintbrush right in there. Again, could it have been done another way? Could you have painted this element before assembling the cherub? Yes, absolutely. Would it have been easier? Yes, absolutely. Did I do it? No. I threw the model together as quickly as possible. Paid for it afterwards. Which is fine if you don't mind going back and sorting it. Okay, I think I've got him. Think I've got him. Yo, Joel, how's it going? How you keeping, bro? Have you made it to your weekend? You've got a couple of hours, right, to your weekend there in the US. But hopefully you are almost there. Fingers crossed you are on your way home and you can indeed relax. That's what I'm hoping for you, Joel. This week we are talking about geeky movies. So we spoke about loads so far, from Jurassic Park to Lord of the Rings to Back to the Future. We spoke about loads of films. So if you've got a favourite geeky film that you want to drop into the chat, drop it in. You're very well, although cold there, home for the day. Nice. I will be out in the US very soon. So I'll be going to Denver. I'm sure that's going to be pretty cold too. So, and I love the US, but I don't love the cold. Weird Science. So we mentioned Weird Science earlier, dude. Classic with Kelly LaRocque, is it? Where two young students do a science experiment and make a doll come alive. And they all sort of fancy the pants off of her because she's a super hottie. So yeah, so that is a great film. Very funny, very geeky, entertaining. Nice. I still think the best era for the geek films is the 80s and 90s. They did the best. You've got some cult classics that come later in the 2000s and what, like your Lord of the Rings, like your Harry Potters, but overall I think there was just more geek movies in the 80s. It feels like it anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I actually tallied it up, maybe it's wrong. Maybe my assumption is wrong. What we saying? Yeah, Sneakers. Sneakers might be my favourite geeky movie. Oh, Sneakers. Remind me, Joel, what is Sneakers? Have I seen Sneakers? Oh, you got me thinking. That name don't ring a bell. I might have to Google that in a sec because I can't remember what that is. Yeah, not entirely sure. Sneakers. I am going to have to watch that now, though. Now you've mentioned it. That's one that's really flummoxed me. This guy's got a little jacket, like a sort of half jacket on. So it's kind of painting around this sort of weird one-sided jacket that he's got on. Or a piece of armour or something. He's also got like a Sisters of Battle helmet on, which is quite cool. It's great. Ben Kingsley is in it. Computer Hackers, Robert Redford. Oh, okay. Might have to watch that. I guess you could put... Do anyone remember... was it Spare Batteries? Is it called Spare Batteries? Where you've got the little flying saucers that come down to the little boy. Is it called Spare Batteries? I think it might be called Spare Batteries. Yeah, and you've got little tiny flying saucers. All different ones. And a young boy that finds them. I can't remember. Gosh, my memory's so bad. River Phoenix. River Phoenix in it as well? Or... Batteries not included. That's what it's called. Batteries not included. You'll love it. Sneakers way better than Hackers. Okay, alright. Sneakers. I'm going to have to watch it now. The film I was thinking of is Batteries Not Included. That is geeky. About aliens coming to Earth. Little tiny saucers. Spaceships. Little tiny ones that come in. They look like toys. They're very funny. Yeah, that's a cool classic 80s movie. So we've got a fair amount of this done, but I tell you what, I thought we'd get this all finished this session because I kind of wanted to move on to a new model. But crikey, there's so much little bits of... Oh no, I just broke one. Dang. Oh, it's alright, it's just on the... Broke him on the joint. Never mind. Does mean though that you can paint them a bit easier. Yeah, I really wanted to get this model all done today, but I don't think we're going to get him done because there's just so many little bits. It just feels like it's taking me forever, so apologies for my super slow painting. Guys are probably like, oh, just get this one done. There we go. So Joel, what are you painting at the moment, dude? There was a gent earlier, Longinus, that said, dropped it in the Discord actually, that he's painting some Chaos Knights. They were pretty cool. Adrian, are you painting and kit bashing? Have you finished kit bashing your Iron Hands? Do tell me about those. Because that's what you were trying to do the other week, I believe. Alright, I'm going to have to watch Sneakers, aren't I? Sneakers. Is it on YouTube or Netflix or something? Oh, you wouldn't know though, because UK Netflix is different to US Netflix, unfortunately. That's why I quite like it when I come over to the US. I get different Netflix. Right, head on him is bony colour. He's got, oh sorry, head on him is bony colour, so he can go down there. What else? Who else we got to do on here? They all need more layers on this skin, unfortunately. There we go. What we're saying here, war games and sliders. Ooh, war games and sliders. Oh man, I need to really do some more movie watching. I've not heard of either of those, or maybe I have, but I just don't remember them. I thought, yeah, geeky movies, I know a fair few of those, which I do, and I've got a list that we haven't even finished on here, but then you guys drop stuff into the chat, and I'm like, oh, what is this movie? What's that movie? I have no clue what they are. Yeah, painting these little dudes would have been way better to do before the model was built. I'm going to put it out there. I'm just going to say it how it is. It would have been way better. Don't worry where things look a little bit rough, because these little guys actually have got quite a bit of detail on, but I feel that you've got to just throw the skin colour on in the first place and then paint everything else over the top of that. Probably stick a wash over these as well, just to try and give that skin a little bit of realism rather than just being a flat colour. So just give it some shading. Oh, we've got one guy there that we haven't painted at all. Now this is going to be really difficult because he's like flying upside down, so we've got to sort of tip the model that way to paint it. So again, don't worry that we're sort of going over the details or some of the details. We just need to get some paint skin colour onto him first. I've just realised as well, I'm copying the box art, right, and I'm saying skin colour, but actually there's no black cherubs. Why not? I might have to change a couple of these actually, just so we've got a bit more of a representation going on here. Although the God Emperor wouldn't care for DEI, would he? Well, actually, you say God Emperor wouldn't care for DI, but he's just released some female custodies. So he's kind of broken the law there, isn't he? And I don't mean the law as in L-A-W, I mean L-O-R-E. Games Workshop have just released female custodies. What's everyone thought on that? Me personally, I like law to be law, and if it's that way, then it's that way, and I'll accept it. You know, I'd rather have, as I do, have a kick-ass Sisters of Battle army, or make another army that is female. I'm not quite sure why they have to then change what was a male army. I don't quite get that. But then again, some of the, you know, I guess it's a popular model set, so they're trying to make it more popular. I don't know. What are you saying? Oh, nothing. No one's saying nothing at the moment. Yeah. Sorry for all the moving around, by the way, as well, guys, on this camera. It's just a really big model in terms of all the intricate pieces and getting it into the right position to paint, and also getting it into the right screen for the camera to pick up. It's actually quite difficult. Can't have male only anything these days. Certainly won't be more popular now. Yeah, I agree. It's like, I love the Sisters of Battle. I think they're kick ass. But you're not going to then put a man into the Sisters of Battle, are you? And have a man Sisters of Battle. I mean, they have attached elements that are male. Yes, true. But as did the Custodies have attached elements that were female. They had the Sisters of Silence, right? But you wouldn't make an actual Sisters of Battle a male. That's ridiculous. So I don't get why they do. It doesn't really make sense to me why, and I still haven't read anything that kind of has led me down the path to think, oh yeah, I agree with that. That's all cool. Games Workshop's sort of stance is really flimsy. And sort of cuts around a few things and sort of just says, well, we're just kind of like changing the law, so suck it up, fans. Essentially, they don't use those words, of course, but that's kind of what they're saying. I personally don't get the idea behind it. I don't get why they're doing it. It doesn't really make much sense to me. I mean, someone might have a better view on what they're doing and why, but... Well, if we follow these people's thinking, if a Space Marine decided they were trans, they'd have to become a sister. Oh, man. Yeah. Crikey, that's a rabbit hole to go down, isn't it? Like, for me, I love everybody, right? However, I do think in this sort of Custodes situation, you can't change the law. That's like me one day saying that I'm now black. I'm not. I'm white, or Caucasian, or whatever you want to call it. You know, you can't do that. That's just weird. So I don't quite get what they're doing, but you know, each to their own, I guess, and hopefully you know, there'll be someone that can make sense of it somewhere. Fingers crossed. There we go. Agent said depends what the pronouns are, doesn't it? Yeah. I also don't quite understand that. Like, again, I have no problem with anybody. I just think, well, it's okay to call yourself whatever. Just don't make anyone else change their ways or change what reality is. You can do whatever you want in your own home, in your own personal life. As long, you know, it's like me saying, well, I'm now addressing myself as king. And if you don't call me king, then I'm going to be really upset about it and be mad and tell you that you're a bigot or something, you know. I just think it's a bit odd. Controversial subjects on Minis and Muscles tonight, crikey. Tell you what, I'll probably be closed down on YouTube next week for saying all of that. Someone will take it out of context and be like, oh my god. I'm going to completely skip past the part where I say, I don't have a problem with anybody, I just don't understand it. Do. Right, they've got base coat on. Oh, sorry guys, I keep putting them out in a picture. Transhuman. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Conversation, man. The conversation. Yeah, it's a bit cray-cray. I'm going to have to get the old Wraithbone back out because there's a few more parts of the banners that just need an extra bit of colour on them, or an extra layer where the previous layer was a little bit thin. We just need to go back and add another layer on just to cover up any of the sort of black that's showing underneath. Do. Well, earlier on in the show it was very busy, wasn't it? There were a lot of people jumping in, which was really nice. So hopefully we've got a few more subscribers this evening. It's always good when you have you know, lots of people chiming in on the chat, because it just makes the conversation a lot easier. Makes things flow. It means that you've always got something to reference or go back to. So it's very cool when lots of people join in. So that was nice. Hopefully, like I say, we'll get a few more people subscribing, a few more people jumping in. Oh, that's what I was going to ask, but we've not got many people on at the moment. But I was going to ask, should this channel just be purely the chat, that is, or what we talk about? Should it be purely Warhammer, or should it be purely D&D, or is it okay to, or more interesting to go into other things like we are tonight and talking about movies, for example, and what our favourite movies are and why? Is that a better way to do it, or should it just be like more centric and focused on one thing? I just wondered. So I just wonder whether we're sort of limiting who would come to the channel. If it's purely Warhammer, would we get more people? How did I get the cherubs to stay upright? Well, they're glued on. They're just glued, dude. Yeah, they're just glued. Yeah, they're just glued into place. Some of them break because they're really fragile. I just broke one a minute ago, look. But they're just glued into place, man. Nothing special. I am not magic, that's for sure. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts on that, guys, about whether it should be the chat and what we talk about should be more focused on one thing. So should we just focus on, like I said, Warhammer or D&D or Pokemon or whatever it is, or should we keep it where we talk about loads of different things? Every week we kind of change it and mix it up. I'm just trying to think what's the best for everybody, really, because some people come to the channel for certain things and some people, you know, come for other things. So I'm just trying to get a gauge for what is best, because we've been going some time now doing Minis and Muscles and we haven't particularly grown in terms of channel size much. So I just wonder, what is it that we can do better going forward? Because there must be something that I can do that is better, whether that is the presentation of things, whether that is the chat, whether that is, you know, whatever. So I'm open, my ears are open to your comments and thoughts and feedback, guys and girls. So whatever you think, please do tell me, because it's always nice to hear what you say. And that kind of also, like, you've got the chat topics, and then you've got the models that we paint as well. I do try to keep it varied, so we have, you know, Warhammer one week and then we have something else another week, and until they're finished, that is, obviously. So I do try and swap those up, but again, should it be just Warhammer models we do? Because that seems to be the more popular topic. So if it's a more popular topic, should we just stick on that and we just talk about everything about Warhammer? Joel is saying, I enjoy a variety of topics from the geek world. Okay, that was kind of my theory, and that's why I started the channel in the first place. But again, it's trying to get the masses in, isn't it? It's trying to get more people in to watch, to interact, to talk, you know, because the more people that do, the better the conversations are, and the more engagement we have, and the more enjoyable the videos are, right? Because it's all down to people and getting people online. So I'm trying to understand what the people want. So that'd be really helpful to know if any of you online are willing to share your comments, like Joel has there. He's shared his comments on what he thinks, and he likes multiple geek topics to be talked about. I was just wondering, should we just stick to Warhammer because it seems to be the most popular thing, or should we continue to branch out into the rest of the geek world? And that includes painting of models. Should we do more types of models? So, like, I don't know, a World War II Spitfire or something. We paint an old Spitfire plane. Or, oh God, my bloody chair just moved and I just put white all up the front of it. Ah, damn it. So these things happen. Yeah, so, you know, what should we do there, guys? What do you reckon? The main thing that works for everyone else is to comment on online content and current affairs. Some play games online. I think it would be tough to grow if it's mainly painting. Yeah, I think so. You know, plus as well, and I don't mean this in a mean way to any ladies that are out there, it's harder to get a following in the geek world if you're a bloke. Right, there's a lady that started doing a painting stream, and you know, she's no better than I am at painting at all in any way, shape or form. However, within about the space of a couple of weeks, she's got, you know, thousands upon thousands of followers. Now, you know, I get it. I get it. She's way more attractive than I am. Completely get it. However, it does make me infuriated when I'm like, ah, oh, damn it, I've been going for so long. And I was hoping, you know, that more people would watch and people would enjoy it. And I know some people do. But I'm just trying to think of ways to get more people interested. You know, do I, for example, the conversations we have and the topics we talk about, the general chat, right? Do we make it more controversial and talk about more controversial topics so that draws people in? Is that what people want, you know? I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to talk about more controversial things as well, because crikey, you can get some backlash. Especially when people misunderstand what you say or whatever. Christ. But yeah, there's a lot I've been sort of thinking about with the channel itself. Oh, crikey. With the Minis-N-Muscles channel and how to make it better, or how long to keep going for, and what to do, and, you know, lots to consider. Lots to consider, especially, as I said, we're getting into our second year towards the end of this year. So, yeah, knowing what's right is very, very hard. You start painting historicals, you will need to make an appearance on Bearded Veteran crates. Yes, yes, a Bearded Veteran. I know the guy, really lovely guy. So he's got a channel and he does some bits and bobs. So yeah, know him very well, not very well, but I do know him well. Yeah, so he does a channel and he has sort of multiple people on there, sort of painting various parts of different historical type things, be it planes, trains, whatever it is. Yeah, so he does all of that. So I'm thinking, oh, should I do that? I don't know how. I haven't checked on his channel recently though. I'm not sure how he's doing. Because he used to pop on here actually just to come in and say hello. So I'm not sure how he's doing on his channel and if it's growing or if it's grown large. I'm not sure. I hope it has, because he's a decent bloke. So, and decent people deserve decent things, right? Yeah, it was just a thought, guys. Just a thought. Just a thought that I was having about the channel and trying to sort of think about next steps, really. How to make things better, what I should be doing to get more people on, or... Crikey, I've done a really bad job with this. I'm using this gigantic paintbrush on this itty bitty cherub. And I'm not doing a good job, guys. Yeah, I think I'll place him down for a moment. Bring that back into view, that's a lot nicer. Yeah, so they just chat amongst themselves, don't they, on the channel? Yeah, I've seen that. So, yeah, I mean, is that what this channel's missing? That it just needs just a general chat vibe and people just talking about stuff? I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer to it. I'm not sure. I don't rightly know. He did say ages ago to me actually about jumping on their channel and doing a video with them, which I'm open to. I just need to get the time. I'm very rarely in the week do I have any sort of spare time to do that kind of thing. And as well, I think his shows are like, are they like Saturday morning or something, or during, oh no, I know some of them are in the daytime in the week, and I just can't do in the daytime in the week. That's why I just don't have that kind of availability. With my job, I just don't get the time to get away. What's wrong with your 80s metal, you numpty? Nothing's wrong. Nothing at all. I'm just trying, Adrian, to think of more ways to get more people to the channel, more ways to have participation in chat. You know, all of that sort of stuff really is what I'm trying to achieve. For instance, this week you could have watched the He-Man hang about. Optimus is saying, controversial topic, 80s hair metal needs to be accidentally deleted. 80s hair metal needs to be accidentally deleted. Hang about, I'm missing something. A few people are dropping in the chat here, so I think I've missed some stuff. Controversial topic, 80s hair metal needs to be accidentally deleted. Oh, okay, got you. No, 80s metal hair is quite funny. I think it's quite hilarious. Optimus is saying, have you seen Mr. H's channel? He started, I think, with cars, then did movie reviews and critique of the film and TV industry. Now I think he's moved on to including politics and current affairs. No, Mr. H. I'll have to have a look at that. No, I've not seen a Mr. H's channel. So no is the answer to that. I don't know of a Mr. H. But yeah, the only thing with that is that you then got to sort of breach into those other topics, and some of those other topics are not that they're spicy in the sense of naughty. It's just the sort of kickback that you can get from even saying your opinion online. It could be an absolute disaster. All of a sudden you're like the most hated man ever, and that's not what I want to do. I'm not here to try and upset or offend people or whatever. I actually just want to make a cool community is what I want to make. But I'm not particularly good on social media. I don't like social media. You guys may have noticed that I took down the Instagram because I'm not that kind of person that posts every 2 seconds about what the heck I'm doing. I don't really like to live my life like that. So yeah, I kind of deleted the Instagram page that I had. Maybe that was the right thing, maybe that was the wrong thing, I'm not sure, but social media is just not my thing. And I think that's probably another place where that's lacking on my side that affects then bringing in new people. If you are good at social media or you enjoy that kind of thing, or you post regularly on that, you can really gain some momentum. So I think social media is a big one, and I'm fully aware that I don't do that. And it's just completely against my grain. So then you think, oh, well, should I get like pay for a young person to do my social media for me and just post about stuff all the time? I mean, maybe that would work. Optimus saying, for instance, this week you could have watched the He-Man trailer with us and given your thoughts as it went along. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could have stuck on the He-Man trailer. Are you allowed to do that? So I'm allowed to put the He-Man trailer on here and play it and then talk about it? Don't know, maybe I need to read up a little bit more about what you can and can't do. So I wouldn't have thought that I could, and I could be completely wrong by the way, so I don't really know social media, but I wouldn't have thought I could then just play the He-Man trailer on here on my channel and then comment on it and talk about it. Maybe you can. Maybe that's what everyone does. So maybe I should do more things like that, where have a bit more interaction and different videos playing. You know, maybe that's a good shout. Maybe that's what's missing. No, I really wished I could have grown up during any other musical decade. Really? I think 80s music was alright. I don't think 80s music was bad at all. There were some stinkers of tracks, of soundtracks and music in the 80s for sure, but there was also some bangers. Yeah, so I quite liked the, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's nostalgia and I remember wearing the clothes, but I liked the 80s clothes. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the worst era. I mean, if I could go back to any era, I think I'd probably choose like the 50s or something, but I would want to be in the 50s in America. I think that would be a great time to be alive. A lot of opportunity, a lot of sort of the values and standards of people were higher, I think, back then. You know, people weren't so, what I would call nowadays, like weird kind of as they are now. So I would have quite liked the 50s. I'd take the 70s though. If I was sort of, I don't know, like 18 in the mid 70s, yeah, that would be quite a nice time, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I'd take as in terms of eras and what to do. Oh crikey! Talk about bearded veteran. He pops up. Look. Hello, sir. How you doing? Hope you're all well, man. What's saying? No, he's good. One other things that helps massively to build up subscribers is engaging with other content creators, engaging in other live streams, inviting doing live streams. Yeah, so I was just literally saying, Mike, that you and I spoke ages ago about me jumping on your channel and vice versa and all the rest of it. I just I couldn't break out in the daytime to get anything done. I'm not averse to jumping on people's live streams and having people on my live stream and all the rest of it. I guess it's forcing that to happen and making that happen rather than sort of just allowing it to flow. So yeah, I should do more of that. You're completely right, dude. Completely right. Yeah, there's a lot of things to think about. Just for context, Mike, I was talking about sort of various different things about the channel as being going for so long now, and should there be some new things that I try or different things that I should look at in terms of what topics we talk about, and you know, all of that sort of stuff, and whether I focus just on Warhammer or whether I go elsewhere. Just trying to think of different things that can help build out extra members and attract new people in and keep new people in, right? But yeah, you're right. Engaging with other content. So is that like, do you mean by that like posting on other people's content? So like just making a comment on someone else's painting channel or something, or is that how it works? Again, I'm useless at social media. I'm so bad at it. I don't have Facebook. I don't have, well, I cancelled my Instagram, but I don't have a personal Instagram. You know, don't have any of that stuff because I don't enjoy it. Yeah. If you still want to come on my live streams and you can't do the days, then I do one evening members stream once a month. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, happily jump on your stream, dude, and just talk crap. I'm great at talking shit. I'm wonderful at doing that, sir. Yeah, and absolutely, if you guys wanted to come on here, you're more than welcome. Absolutely. I have no clue how to do a multi-person stream, but yeah, we can certainly look at working that out. So that, yes mate, commenting in live stream chats, content videos, engaging on other creators' discords and social. Oh right, okay. Okay, all right. That gives food for thought. So I wouldn't have thought like, yeah, that's kind of how my brain works. I'd be like, why would people come to my channel because I've just commented on someone else's painting channel or something, you know? And when you do that, do you like talk about, do you say, come and see my channel, I've got loads of good stuff, or do you just join in the conversation that's there? Is it like sort of subtle? Yeah, there's so much for me to learn really about live streaming and making content that people are really enjoying, you know? I mean, I hope people enjoy the content that we make on a Friday. I mean, I enjoy making it, right? And that's why I still do it, because I love painting. It's one of my favourite things to do. And I love just chatting crap about geeky stuff. So for me, that's actually, it's a pleasure to do. It's a pleasure to chat with everybody and just talk crap. So I really like that. So yeah, it's just about, you know, I worry, I guess, whether it's the right, I'm talking about the right stuff to people, or it's interesting enough, or whether it's not interesting at all, or yeah, because I know my painting's all right. I'm not like the best artist in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but even this model's pretty freaking sick. Again, not the best, but not by any stretch of the imagination the worst. But yeah, it just kind of hit me around Christmas time, because I was thinking, oh, it's been, I can't remember what, 18 months, maybe a bit longer since I started the channel. I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's been this sort of time, and I'm sort of saying to myself, why have we not got more people here? Or how do you keep more people? But I don't know whether, like I say, it's the right, whether it's the content that I'm putting out is the right content to keep people. Because it might not be the right content at all. It might just be that the content is incorrect and it needs to be of a different nature to be able to keep people interested and hooked. Multi-person stream is probably easier than what you're doing now, to be honest, because you can do it through StreamYard. Oh, okay. Just join in the conversations using your channel profile. People start checking out your channel naturally out of curiosity. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Well, that's easy enough. I can comment on stuff. Just means, you know, rather than scrolling through things, you scroll with purpose and, you know, drop a comment on X, Y, or Z. Yeah, I guess you have to be fairly subtle in the tone that you use on those comments, so you can't use it as a way to plug your platform. You have to use it in a sensible manner to sort of, I don't know, subtly say to people, oh yes, I remember when I painted that model, blah blah blah, that looks really good, or something along those lines, you know. So you have to be a little bit more subtle, I guess, on your comments. But yeah, there's a lot to consider. But hopefully it's still interesting, at least. But yeah, oh crikey, I've just noticed the time. It's 11 minutes past 9. Crikey. Right, let's just close that, put the lid on that paint, and then just flick over to this front view. Woo! There you go. I was chatting away, not even realising what the time was. But hopefully you didn't mind my babbling, people. But here we are. This is how we're looking. I was hoping I'd get more done of this beast. What I might do is I might finish this off in my own time so we can start a new model next week. That's probably my feeling. Because look, she is pretty cool. Look at all these cool ladies on here. They look absolutely epic. Let's just move that down. They look absolutely epic. There's just the cherubs to finish off and that's it. But this is a wonderful model. If you want to paint a model that's more like a diorama and not just for gaming purposes, this is a fantastic model. It's the Triumph for St. Catherine for the Adeptus Sororitas, Sisters of Battle. There's 6 sisters. There's the sarcophagus for St. Catherine. There's a load of cherubs on the top, all flying about. It looks bloody mega. If I can just zoom it in a little bit. There you go. It's a wonderful model. It's an absolute masterpiece of a model. And I've not done bad on the painting. It's not perfect, but I've not done bad. So there we go, peeps. Let's place that down. Yeah, I will, BV. I will give you a shout, dude, on the old Discord. But yeah, thank you for absolutely everyone that's been tuning in. It's been a really good session tonight, just chatting away with everyone. Loads of commenting, which is really good. Keeps me occupied, to say the least, when I have to scroll up and down the chat to keep up with things. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure when this video finishes, please, please, please drop a like on it. Please share it with your buddies, in your family and friends and all the rest of your geek world that you participate in. It's the weekend, so A, relax, that's the main thing. B, do a little bit of fitness, even if it's just a walk or something. You know, maybe you're going to change your diet, and I don't mean diet by not eating anything. I mean the things that you eat. Rather than eating loads of chocolate bars, you eat some fruit. Or maybe you're just going to go out and do some absolute geekery. You're going to game it up, you're going to paint it up, you're going to have an absolute blast. All right? I wish every single one of you a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. It's the weekend. It's your time off, time to relax. Hopefully, for some of you, you're putting the markers away. Well, I hope the markers have been good. I hope the markers have been good, dude. But yes, thank you, one. Thank you all. I will see you all next week. Stay safe. Geek it up. And I will see you all very, very soon. Ta-ra for now.